Hi, let's see what happens. Chapter 13. If you remember, the last line of chapter 12 was, the shape moved and she knew it was her mother lying on the earth. Chapter 13, run as fast as you can. Still moving quietly so as not to wake her sister, Anne-Marie sped down the stairs and through the kitchen door. Her foot caught on a loose step and she faltered for a moment, righting herself, then dashed across the ground to the place where her mama laid. "Mama," she called desperately. "Mama!" "Shh," Mama said, raising her head. "I'm all right." "But Mama," Anne-Marie asked, kneeling beside her, "what's wrong? What happened?" Her mother pulled herself to a sitting position. She winced in pain. "I'm all right, really, don't worry. And the Rosens are with Henrik. That's the important thing." She smiled a little, though her face was drawn with pain, and she bit her lip, the smile fading. "We got there quite quickly, even though it was still dark and it was difficult for the Rosens not knowing the path. Henrik was there waiting on the boat, and he took them aboard and down below so quickly to the cabin that they were invisible in an instant. He said the others were already there. Peter had gotten them there safely. So I turned to hurry home. I was anxious to get back to you girls. I should have been more careful." Talking softly, she brushed some grass and dirt from her hands. "Can you believe it? I was nearly here. Well, maybe just halfway, when I tripped over a root and went sprawling." Mama sighed. "So clumsy," she said, as if she were scolding herself. "I'm afraid I've broken my ankle, Anne-Marie. Thank goodness it's nothing worse, and ankles will mend, and I'm home and the Rosens are with Henrik." "You should have seen me, Anne-Marie," she said, shaking her head with a wry look. "Your proper mama, crawling inch by inch. I probably looked like a drunkard." She reached for Anne-Marie's arm. "Here, let me lean on you. I think if you support me on this side, I can make my way to the house. Goodness, what a clumsy fool I am. Here, let me put my arm on your shoulders. You are such a good, strong, brave girl. Now, very slowly, there." Mama's face was white with pain. Anne-Marie could see it through the faint light of the approaching dawn. She hobbled, leaning heavily on her daughter, pausing again and again toward the house. "When we get inside, I'll have a cup of tea and then we'll call the doctor. I'll tell him that I fell on the stairs. You'll have to help me wash away the grass and twigs. Here, Anne-Marie, let me rest for a minute." They had reached the house and Mama sank down into the steps and sat. She took several deep breaths. Anne-Marie sat beside her and held her hand. "Mama, I was so worried when you didn't come back." Mama nodded. "I knew you would be. I thought of you worrying as I dragged myself along. But here I am, safe with you now. Everything's fine. What time is it?" "It must be 4:30 or close to it." "They will sail soon." Mama turned her head and gazed across the meadow to the sea and the vast sky above it. There were no stars now, only gray, pale sky with the pinkness of daylight. "Soon they will be safe." Anne-Marie relaxed. She stroked her mother's hand and looked down at the discolored, swollen ankle. "Mama, what is this?" she asked suddenly, reaching into the grass at the foot of the steps. Mama looked and gasped. "Oh my God," she said. Anne-Marie picked it up. She recognized it now and knew what it was. It was the packet that Peter had given to Mr. Rosen. Mr. Rosen had tripped on the steps, remember? It must have fallen from his pocket. "We'll have to save it and give it back to Peter." Anne-Marie handed it to her mother. "Do you know what it is?" Her mother didn't answer. Her face was stricken. She looked at the path and then down at her ankle. "It's important, isn't it, Mama?" "It was for Uncle Henrik. I remember Peter said it was very important. I heard him tell that to Mr. Rosen." Her mother tried to stand but fell back against the steps with a groan. "Oh my God," she murmured again. "It may have all been for nothing." Anne-Marie took the packet from her mother's hand and stood. "I'll take it. I know the way. It's almost light now. I can run like the wind." Metaphor. Mama spoke quietly. Her voice was tense. "Anne-Marie, go into the house. Get a small basket on the table. Quickly, quickly. Put an apple into it and some cheese and put this packet underneath. Do you understand? Hurry." Anne-Marie did what she was told. The basket, the packet, at the bottom. She covered it with a napkin, then wrapped some cheese and an apple. She glanced around the kitchen and saw some bread and added that to the basket as well. The little basket was full. She took it to where her mother was. "You must run to the boat. If anyone should stop you," "Who would stop me?" Anne-Marie, you know how dangerous this is. If any soldiers see you, if they stop you, you must pretend to be nothing more than a little girl, a silly, empty-headed little girl taking lunch to a fisherman, the foolish uncle who forgot his bread and cheese. But Mama, what is it at the bottom? But her mother still did not answer the question. Go, she said firmly. Go right now and run. Run as fast as you can. Anne-Marie kissed her mother quickly, grabbed the basket from her mother's lap, turned and ran toward the path.